Gotta find some breakfast though, so I'm gonna have to walk past these fools.
You can do registration.
Fuck off, go home. Wow, this guy, look at this performance, look. I can't hear you! Just wanted to make it clear before you watch this clip that the 3 days I was at FiLiA, I only heard people from that conference discussing Tommy Robinson twice. Once when I was discussing this specific interaction, and another time during a session about sexual exploitation of girls. The reference to Tommy Robinson about recent marches and his, well, I say his, it's more they. I'll say they because there's a lot of mainly men that march alongside, claiming to be in support of these girls that have been sexually exploited. However, it was very clear that the specific person on the panel that was speaking did not support Tommy Robinson at all, and made it very clear and give examples, and I've seen these examples myself, videos of women, girls or women, I'm not sure how old they were, who have been on the stages to share their experience of being sexually exploited, only to be pulled off the stage physically by men because they want to silence them as soon as they mention that the perpetrators were white. And so there was a really good discussion actually about the need to identify perpetrators, for that data, the very fact that there are more white perpetrators than Asian men. This was specific to the Rotherham cases, some of the racism that men, Asian men, Muslim men, have been getting. Then someone suggested that maybe the media would inflate that, and so why was there a need to report on race? Panel member who was sharing a video that they'd made and was talking about the importance of the survivors' voice. It's important to say what happened for those survivors, and so it's important that we don't erase any of that. And I didn't hear anything at all about any kind of beliefs or views on anti-abortion either. I think a lot of these people protesting outside this conference every year, they don't really do the research and they don't really look at the agenda, and I don't think they want to sit down and speak to some of the survivors and incredible speakers that were invited to FiLiA this year to speak about their experiences of some horrendous experiences of abuse, and the solidarity that they clearly are afraid of, because I think it's clear that they try and get as many people on side, and so it would kind of make sense that they would want to shut down a conference with over 2,000 women attending. My advice to them would be to actually look at the agenda and consider what you're doing before you turn up, say things that are not correct. They're clearly misinformed, and some might claim that they're doing it in solidarity with trans people, with people in prostitution. They'll say anything. Yeah, but similar, a bit similar to perpetrators of violence. If there's an excuse, they'll use it. So really doesn't matter what that excuse is. The fact is that they stood outside that conference centre. They didn't shut the conference centre down. They may not have had an intention of doing so, but they clearly wanted attention on them. And it's fine to share their views, but to scream and shout, fuck off, go home, I think it's quite inappropriate, certainly when some of those women that are leaving that conference centre may have just left a session where they have literally just thought about their own abuse and thought about their own experiences. And I think that's why it's so important that we do keep that solidarity, continue to attend conferences. We're not intimidated, but some of us are intimidated by these people, and that's the point. Yeah, they talk about how people are committing hate crimes for mispronouns, but they stand outside a conference and tell women to fuck off and go home because they decide that they don't want to be silenced and they want to discuss the abuse that they suffered and the abuse that's continually going on in the world today. This is what we've got, not a huge amount of people, but say that again, sorry?
Women's voices, be open-minded.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I am actually going to that conference today.
You know that it's transphobic? That there's people in there, that there's people speaking who support Tommy Robinson and are anti-abortion and all these other women's issues.
Yeah, I think people have a right to their views and opinions. I think that's all right.
Sure. Really?
Yeah, that's okay.
Even when they're anti-women at women's conference?